All right. So, for my final, I wanted to do something a little more creative, and something that I kind of like actually wanted to do. I just feel like writing a paper. I could have just knocked that out. I feel like, but this really gave me time to think. Um, and I'm able to like just actually like express like how I feel and like how passionate I am about this. And I guess you can kind of hear it through my voice throughout this presentation. And I kind of just want to be a little bit unique and different than um, what everybody else could be potentially doing. So to start, so this is my final. It is the human feature, and it is by Jack Lookaball, me. All right. So the future that I want personally is that I want first and foremost to have a stable economy for my children, and I don't want them to have to worry about anything bad happening to them, like with the stock market crash or anything like that. Which I know um, you really can't control that, but you can just limit that to the best of your ability. Um, and I also really like am passionate that I want my kids to live in a safe place so that they can avoid violence and other terrible things in that category. Um, so basically, by me saying that, I could help eliminate violence all across the world, but obviously start smaller. Um, and honestly, like my main thing is I want my kids in the future, to live in a place where we as a society can all come together and be united. Um, like in just like for example, this coronavirus like pandemic, like I do definitely feel like I mean we've all like come together and like started to respect each other more for like being maybe a little more cautious, which is totally fine. But I just think we can do a lot more. And I really honestly do not want my kids to grow up in a place where we discriminate like we are today against race, like based on race, religion, and other beliefs that people may have, because we're all unique and different. So, so co-creating the perfect future. So I honestly would love to start now, but more ideal to co-create the future. I would love to be able to start whenever I find someone who I'll be spending the rest of my life with, and if like so like a wife or my spouse. And this would be a lot easier because since we'd be living together forever, we could put the different like as you see on the pyramid, we could put it together. And because you can't do it alone, you honestly can't. Like honestly, unless you're Jesus, but he didn't even do it alone. So, um, but I also was thinking that I could take a harder approach at this, and honestly start now. So as a freshman in college, I could honestly find peers or friends that have similar goals as me and work with them to establish something big, um, that can affect the way that we go on in life. You know, like just how we live, how we see people, how we talk to people, how we treat to people, how we treat people, and everything like that. And so I thought my visual aid was I like this because it's like a puzzle piece, not a puzzle, but it's like a pyramid, and it's showing that three hands are helping. So, so the challenges. So I would personally say that there are many challenges when honestly you want to do anything in life, but for this, for creating a sustainable and perfect future in my eyes. Um, and so the first and foremost, the main challenge is the haters. You know, you're always going to have haters. And I feel like that when people figure out like a main goal, like for example, if something I'm really passionate about is racism, um, and so I just feel like there are people still in this world that are like truly like still it's a harsh word, but racist people that honestly don't agree with what I want and how I want and how I want people to all be treated equal. And so the challenges could be that there are haters trying to sabotage the things that I want to accomplish. And so if you ask like what I am trying to accomplish, it's I mean the main thing is besides like a better future for my kids, I still think that ending racism um, is probably like the second most important thing because you know I've grown up in like a little bubble, and so I have teammates obviously I'm on the football team, and so I have teammates that, and we're all like different races and um, everything like that. So they grew up like I have a lot of friends that grew up different than I did. They were like spit on. They've been cussed at. They've been called names regarding their race. They've been profiled by the police based on their race, and that's just not something that I am for. And so I'm definitely, that is kind of like my motivation to help end it, do the best that I can do. So for recommendations, so so for a better life, I would say that for the human race, like I said previously, I want us all to be united and honestly stop caring about the color of someone else's skin. Like I don't think that we should, and I cannot stress this enough, but our world, as you know, is so messed up, and we need to just stop being selfish and accept that we are all the same, no matter the race, no matter the color, no matter the religion, no matter the look, no matter whatever you do, because that's like our life, and that's how God made us. God, we're all beautiful and unique in God's eyes. So I just don't understand that we're still in this place, and I don't understand how we have not learned from our past. And it's just I'm so like passionate about this. I could honestly ramble on this forever. So I'm gonna move on. So for another better future, we could recycle more. We could stop being wasteful and even use so much unnecessary resources. Because as you know, um, like we don't treat our planet good. We litter. We do all these things. Oceans, like leave trash in the oceans and everything. And I just feel like that we really don't like. I know there's a lot of people that care, but I feel like they're more like there's more people that do not care than people that care. And so I think eventually we're going to run out of resources, and it's just not going to be good for our children one day. So I would love to potentially help help stop like the littering, pollution, and like hurting our planet physically, because I would love to actually try to create a heaven on earth. And I know that sounds cheesy, but you know what? That's how I feel. So for a legacy, so the legacy that I want to leave for the next 7 generations of my kids and their kids and their following kids and on and on, I just want it to come down that I was a hard worker, and I want my generations to come to see that I did honestly try to be a big influence and build that legacy, and potentially help them, motivate them to do the same things that I will do one day or even do now. And I feel like one big way that I could build a legacy is making it to the NFL, so that I could potentially have a big platform, and work my hardest to speak up and make the biggest impact I possibly can, so I could like speak out on my passion about race and like making this society and our future a better place. Because as you see, all these NFL players and professional athletes have such a big platform that whatever they do, good or bad, it could be used for good, for positive or negative, is broadcasted to the world. So you know what? Like I honestly would maybe not even need a co. I would not need someone to help co-create if I was that, because I could start it and then it'd grow and get big, and I could make websites or anything like that. And finally, a big thank you to you, Mr. Professor, because I feel like before this class, I was just like, you know what? Like, it'd be cool to learn about the future, and like, oh, like, is it gonna be like aliens and stuff? And I think it was like the first or second week when we talked about Afrofuturism. That really, that really just like I don't know, something in my heart. It just spoke to me that I do and I am passionate about the future for my kids and children one day, um, and that I want to do my part, because there's a lot of people out in this world that won't. So I just want to do my part to help create and sustain the best possible life for my children. So yes, I just want to say thank you to you for taking this class seriously, and even through like this quarantine and coronavirus pandemic, you like weren't easy on us, and you weren't like I don't know, you never were lazy about this class, and I appreciate that. And I also appreciate the live, I don't know what you call it, the web stream, web thing, video conference, because you were just able to let us like talk about the coronavirus and how we feel, and just like how like it's affecting us and what we can all do to like pray for each other and help each other. So yes, thank you, and I hope you enjoyed seeing a different side of like my specific goals and how I want the future for my children to be. And thank you for a great semester.